All right, so flying the best, only for the best, Southwest first class.
We're about to get dropped off.
First class, Southwest. Are we getting dropped off? All right. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening. Let me come into the frame.
You're not gonna wait till you get in there.
Yeah, I like to do. I've been doing this lately. We have ghetto rigged electronics, so we're trying to be very still here. As you can see from the beginning clips, well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to This Is Recorded Podcast. You know how we do it here. As you've seen in the beginning clips, we took a trip to New Orleans. First thing that comes to your mind when you think New Orleans? I guess now that you've been.
Like in a good way, or
anything. But
we saw somebody doing crack. Is that
okay? Way to start. This is what you
a-
call like an attention grabber to bring a person into the podcast.
Yeah.
Yes. Last night we was told to go on Frenchman Street. It wasn't our kind of vibe there, but it may be cool for some. So we decided to walk at 11 something at night. I wouldn't advise that for some people, but we did it anyway. We used iPhone to walk to Bourbon Street, and along our walk, we seen somebody doing crack, and that was both me.
How do we know it was crack though?
We don't. So this is.
But it was like real drug. It was either crack. Can you smoke heroin?
I think you can. Yeah.
Or it could have been meth, but it was giving crack pipe.
It was giving the glass dick. Wow, excuse me. But yeah, it was a little wild. Yeah, never seen that before. You never seen that before. I hope they get the help they deserve. But that was a opener for what we seen on the way, and so that was the attention grabber. Welcome to This Is Recorded. But okay, let's go from when we came in. So we both worked. You are a straight trooper because you got home at about 9 in the morning. We had to get on the road to the airport.
I did not get home at 9.
Well, you went to sleep maybe around 9.
Because you was talking to me.
And then we got.
I feel like I went to sleep at like 8. I probably got about 4 hours of sleep.
It wasn't much sleep, but when you're determined to do what you want to do, live your life, you get on the plane and you go to the airport with 4 hours of sleep, and you were full of energy. You was having fun, and then we took off. The top airline, of course, Southwest. Of course, like, come on, man. Like, I mean, I feel sorry for you people that fly Delta and like JetBlue and American Airlines, all those. Low budget airlines,
Oh my God.
Southwest, my bags fly free.
I don't think JetBlue is a high airline, is it?
I think just for certain
JetBlue
areas.
is like Southwest's cousin, if we're being fair.
It's the older cousin, though.
It's like the second cousin removed.
Okay, all right. So, so we went straight from work. I got off at 2:30 in the morning. Probably went to bed at like 5, and then you came home and. We went, and then so we got there. First thing we do when we get there, airports, no mask. Be in the airport.
Not one mask. I never thought I would see somewhere that was worse than here, and like I really think it was like us and maybe like 4 other people
out of the
and
whole.
that's like being like generous, just throwing something out there.
Yeah, and then it just felt like I mean, everybody's living free, you know. They're not scared of anything. But even before COVID, we were talking about wearing masks and stuff like that because everybody, literally too, before we went in Atlanta and there, everybody had a wet cough, like or something. And then it's like, whenever you're in close proximities with anybody, you don't want to be breathing in that stuff, COVID or not.
I don't want to.
It's just disgusting.
I don't want to be coughed on.
But as soon as we get there, we use Uber. Sometimes when we travel, if we don't get a car, so we Ubered the whole time. And what can you say about Uber?
I mean, it kind of started here before, like when we Ubered to
Okay,
the
so
airport
we
from
had
here.
Speed Racer.
Yeah,
the
but
playlist was good though.
The playlist was immaculate.
Yes.
I was very proud about that. But she also was like scrolling on her phone and like, I feel like she went a whole different way.
Possibly, and
she went a whole different way.
And told me like, oh yeah, well you know, you said to go this way. Like, ma'am, I just put it in. I just put it in.
And then, so she drove really fast, and you was driving fast, but I feel like we weren't running late, but like we didn't get there any faster because she was driving like that. Yeah. But in New Orleans, it was just different. Like everybody drives like fast as fuck. The streets are like built like shit.
Yeah, you know how they say somewhere the streets are paved with gold. In New Orleans, the streets are paved with shit.
Like potholes and fucking like
because it's like uneven road. A lot. One time on the Uber, you know, you got little humps in the city sometimes. And one time and like literally, and I try to play it off because I'm really big on not embarrassing people, especially like working in the hospital. You see people do embarrassing shit all the time, and you know how to keep like a straight face. But like, hey, sir, we was having a nice conversation, and you just hit this. Like, I almost touched the sky.
Because he said, "Oop." He did say oops.
I almost touched the sky.
It was a lot of oops going on.
Like, yeah, so all the Uber drivers kind of drive like Speed Racer, but the roads are paved like shit, so you probably should not drive like Speed Racer.
Like, they drive like it gives... I don't even think they drive like that in New York. Because I feel like in New York,
it's too much stop and go traffic, to be able to get that fast.
But like, it's like almost like if it was no traffic in New York... But they don't use their horns either. I didn't hear no horns.
I didn't hear any horns either.
There was no... The police don't care. Like, I didn't
see really any cop cars until, like, nighttime. And that was more so blocking off roads.
They was, like, posted up. Yeah.
Yeah.
All the police look young as fuck. Black. You know,
yeah,
which
they
is
chilling.
Fine. Yeah, that would probably be, like, kind of nice, though. Like, on some, like, officer-friendly shit.
But, okay, yeah. So, when you're Ubering, you know, I seen a tweet from my boy Jesus Nice. Shout out to Jesus and Miro. He said, when you don't put on a seatbelt, when you get in the Uber, either you, like, a badass or you just want to die. Either one. Because I feel like Uber drivers, there is no qualifications.
We had some bad, not just the driving too, but like when you said seatbelts, like remember one of them, like the seatbelt didn't even.
And work. I really wanted her to try.
Like I could not get the seatbelt from around the thing, and then I was like, okay, I'll sit in the middle, and then there was no buckle for me to buckle, so I was just like, fuck.
All right, let's give them some good about New Orleans. Be careful when y'all ride out there. The good about New Orleans.
Yeah, and we got picked up in the dude work truck. The one dude was nice, but his smelled like cigarette.
Yeah, we had about 6-7 Ubers.
We had 2 vans. The vans ride smooth now.
Hey, vans boy.
Ride smooth.
I know y'all want to drive them in a ditch, but hey, man, it's a smooth ride into that ditch.
Yeah.
But the good thing about New Orleans, since we said all that about shitting on them a little bit, the great thing is that like the black pride and black culture there, like. Even like, you know, you're always like, all right, I don't really say hi to too many people like that. But people were really genuinely just saying hi because they probably could tell we wasn't from there and they really didn't want anything. But then when we went to the stores.
I didn't feel like nobody said hi. I feel like the one girl out of everybody that was there. I think
another person did too.
Right. One girl.
She out here making.
She was like, y'all, we was standing waiting for our Uber and she walked by. She was a young girl, maybe like.
And she was saying hi to a lot of people.
Older 20s. And she was like, are y'all looking for something?
We weren't.
I thought that was sweet. Everybody else was not sweet. They're not mean, but they're not. There was no southern hospitality.
The way I sum it up is that, like, there's brutally honest and then there's blunt. I feel like in New Orleans, a lot of people are blunt. There's no chaser with their shit. They say exactly
I like
how
that.
they
I
feel.
thought they were not. They're not mean,
Right.
But they're not nice. But they're not. They don't have Southern hospitality. Like ain't no neighbors just throwing your hand up. Like nah, it wasn't like that.
Okay.
But I feel like they look out for black people
Because
and I like that.
the stories that shall not be named, because when this blows up, we don't want to get y'all in trouble. We went to 2 different places, and it was about a 50% discount when it should have been not that much of a discount. And it was like, one dude told me we like to look out for our own, and I really appreciate that because I'm still, breaking out of that post-traumatic broke disorder. So I was like, I wanted this, so I'm going to buy it. But even though it was a deal, for me, I just look at it, then I end up putting it back. So lately I've been trying to get stuff, got it. It was way lower than I thought. Went to another place, said we had military ID. Maybe we did, maybe we didn't. Got in. Next, some white people came. They didn't get the same treatment.
They were not white.
Whatever. Yeah, but we got in. But
yeah, it felt like elite. Like I mean, I love being black anyway, but I feel like we don't always get that treatment, which is sad.
Even in Atlanta, because I feel like Atlanta might have a little bit of bougie black in it, because it's like a lot of y'all are doing good and stuff like that. In New Orleans, it might be like it's still people struggling. And a lot of people that are originally from New Orleans don't live there no more because of Katrina and stuff like that. So it just felt really good to feel like, nah, like we really in this together. Like
I feel like, it's a lot of history there. It's a lot of
culture, for
black
real.
culture. Like I feel like with them being like, I feel like it's like a melting pot there. But I feel like their like parents, grandparents probably really taught them like black people are amazing, black people are this, black people are that, and they really take it seriously.
Yeah, because like Boosie lately, even though he says a lot of bullshit, be going really hard about like why you don't like stick up for black stuff. Like why the fuck is black people watching the Jeffrey Dahmer shit? Like he really kind of is like.
That's not a good reference for me because he.
Yeah, Boosie be on some bullshit, but he's from Louisiana. But it's just saying. Baton Rouge, though.
I didn't know that. I thought he was from here.
No, he just lives here. But yeah, the culture of New Orleans. We went to the View Orleans Museum, and it showed you a little bit about New Orleans, and it taught you about the different dishes. It was interactive. I would recommend you go there to learn a little bit about the city. It told you about jazz and everything and the
it was like a real interactive museum. Like how they say it's interactive, but this was like
no,
real,
and you
like
wanted
really
to
like it was touchless, which I thought was good because of COVID.
Exactly.
You don't have to everybody. We touched a few things.
Yeah, but
like when we crashed that boat. But like to go to something, you just kind of put your hand up, which I thought was very cool.
And you learned about stuff, and of course they did tell the truth. I guess it was the New Orleans. It was blunt, but it wasn't brutally honest because they said like basically somebody came there. What was it? The French or Canadian?
It was French.
French came there. They told him don't build on there because the water levels is terrible. He did it anyway. They stole it from Indians that was already there. Indians got tired of fighting from diseases and better weapons, it said. So they got tired of fighting after like 12 years. So they gave up. They decided they going to just live on their own reservation. And then they said the French, it was like a fire or something, I think. It fucked them up. And then it became like more of a melting pot. And they said New Orleans became a big place for like former slaves to get their businesses and different things together. And then they said, they fought for their civil rights, but of course it's the South still. They try to take it back. But the culture and everything has always been big and thriving in New Orleans and jazz and everything. And it really does, like more, New York is just, you kind of used to it. But I guess I felt like there really did feel like a melting pot. Like we always talk about too, like when we watch shows or something, New Orleans white people, even how they talk feel a little different. Like it's just not like the typical, but it's like everybody kind of do their own thing. It's like everybody live amongst each other, but a lot of different cultures. When you
I don't know, and it felt like, I don't know, like I guess here sometimes it feels like white people are like kind of like looking at you. I don't know. It's like a different vibe that the white
y'all
people
still
there give
stay
you.
in y'all area
Yeah.
We mingling right now, but we shouldn't really be mingling.
Yeah.
But there it feels like
It feels genuine.
a
like,
genuine everybody doing their own thing kind of
I think it's a
vibe.
spider or something.
Yeah. Don't mind that.
Can you step on it?
I can. This is very ghetto. I hope my mic doesn't mess up. Okay, then we're back. Don't cause somebody is scared. I had to do that, and you still doing all that moving.
Sorry.
But
You said me?
yeah, I hope so. I don't know.
Thank you. You're my hero.
But oh my God. But
Oh, you don't have on your headphones.
so yeah, so it was just a good thing. The View Orleans.
So are we just doing this like, and you don't know if we're just
I don't
doing
know. We
it?
on a hope and a
Okay.
prayer. That's why I told her.
That would be so
I
funny
don't wanna
if like we
move.
did this whole thing and like
It would not be
nothing
funny.
recorded.
But yeah, it was like that is good. The culture is good. The vibe is good. How they treat black people is good.
That did feel good.
It felt
because it
really
feels
good.
like we're not like I feel like nowadays everybody's like proud to be black and
It seemed more of a
everybody
thing-
wants to be black because it's trendy. But I feel like
Yeah.
they really like
It seemed like
serious about
fashion everywhere else, but there it seemed like real. Like I really felt like royalty, and you feel proud to be black all the time. But there it feels like everybody is like proud to be black, and like they know it ain't no faking. It ain't no I'm half this and half that. It's like no,
Yeah.
I mean it is what it is,
Yeah.
and
I feel like everybody was nice, but not like it's not friendly. It's not bubbly. It's
Yeah.
friendly enough. Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna get you what you need. I'll talk to you a little bit, but
I guess it's like
not
real
really bubbly.
straightforward, like.
yeah.
But
I
they're
like
not.
them. I like that vibe.
But I think that's
But it's
better than
not
somebody
Southern
being
hospitality.
phony.
Yeah, there's
We
no
seen
phony.
one person at a breakfast spot that was super bubbly.
But she was not from there. But
yeah.
she didn't sound like she was from there.
Maybe
and
she-
they all not some of them, the rest of them was dancing around and singing a little bit.
Okay, but yeah, I guess that was their vibe though. But bubbly is not.
Our waitress was not having
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
And she
but-
was kind of messing with the girl, and she was kind of like, come on now.
All right, let's talk about the food, man. That's what everybody like.
right,
you go to
yeah.
party and you go for food, man. The food was
All right.
amazing.
So good.
Like it was just like I think for anywhere, like when people are about to get off, sometime you're not really gonna get their best.
Yeah, we didn't get
Because
some stuff was
I
not
went
made
to the
with
shrimp and
love.
grits one time and it wasn't shrimp and gritsin'. But I'll probably put some
sorry that
pictures at
happened
the
to
end
you,
of this
man.
podcast.
My food that day was very good though.
what did
I
you
get?
have? A crawfish.
No, wait. Oh God, that shrimp and crawfish with some type of sauce omelet.
And we're pescatarian people, so that is like a dream for us to go there because it's like made for
Everything.
us.
Like I used to like sausage gravy a lot, but we don't eat sausage. But they had crawfish gravy,
Amazing.
and I didn't even know I liked crawfish, but
Amazing.
it's good. One time I had I love Alfredo. I mean, it's like all the spices. They just do it.
And
Like
I had
you had a potato,
a
a loaded
shrimp and
potato.
lobster potato.
No, it was catfish.
A shrimp and catfish
Catfish.
loaded potato.
I thought you had
guys.
crawfish in there.
I
too.
also had a praline cheesecake. Amazing.
So good.
I'll try to put this at
We
the
had got from that. I had like a Oreo banana pudding, which was amazing.
Yeah. Of
and
course, we had Cafe Du Monde beignets.
I liked those. Then we had at another place, and they had like chocolate drip.
And it was good. It was a little bit harder, but then we also like were full. So it was like we were just trying it just to try it. So
Yeah,
it really
but we
wasn't.
shared it, so it wasn't like we was getting
Yeah.
stuff. I didn't get stuff there.
They had dollar daiquiris. I feel like you could drink everywhere in New Orleans.
But I have found on TikTok where like you could go up the street a little bit to that place we went to, and the daiquiris were $1 versus you going like a little bit up the street, and one would have been $12.
Yeah, it's.
So that was good.
So if you like to drink and party, it's gonna be wild.
For sure. Wait, I feel like we're missing a meal. What else did we eat?
Oh, let's run down the meals. I mean, I go
The
run down what
breakfast?
I had. Okay, so the first night we got there, I had the loaded potato, that had the shrimp and it had
Catfish.
catfish,
And then some type
I
of
had
sauce.
jalapeno cheddar bites.
Oh, those were good.
I had a praline
Cheesecake.
cheesecake, and we both had daiquiris. I was acting.
They were margaritas.
I was acting bad and bougie. I drank half of it because hey, I'm a wild guy. But we was Ubering everywhere, so I was like, yeah, I don't drink, but I'll try a little something.
So I drank.
So
both.
she ended up having everything. So the next day we got up, we went, and I had the shrimp and grits. That the shrimp was seasoned great, but then you had the crawfish biscuit. That was beautiful and lovely.
No, baby, that was the omelet that morning.
The omelet, and then that night, what did we have? The second night. We had. We like black business. But the one that shall not be named that was offered from somebody, it was like the food. I mean, once again, we don't eat meat, so maybe other things they have was great, but like plating is a science. When you plate stuff great, it seemed like it gives the food a kick. But they didn't plate it all that great, so it was just kind of...
Mine was plated like it should have been on the paper plate.
Yeah, mine's as well, but
But you got a po' boy, you can't really not plate
But
that
they plated but the next day they did
But
plate
mine
it.
really wasn't plated.
Okay,
well.
and then we went to...
And they had macaroni and cheese that was like made with spaghetti noodles.
Terrible, guys. I'm sorry.
And like, I mean, I don't know why we even try macaroni. But my mom's macaroni and cheese is like the best. So I don't even know why I would try it. But this was not like... It just tasted almost like Golden Corral.
And then we had... the next morning is when we went to... What is it called? Something CBD?
Oh, Bearcat.
Bearcat CBD. And it's for like a... CBD is not CBD. It's like Central Business District, not... like fake weed
their, like,
or whatever.
Neighborhood.
But we had amazing. I had a shrimp and like mushroom and something burrito with some potatoes.
It had eggs in it.
Eggs and everything. And what did you have?
I had like an open face like biscuit with a fried lobster tail. Right. And then that crawfish gravy, and then an egg on top, and then we had pancakes.
And we had these lemonades.
Mine was a tea.
A tea.
Remember? But it's like they make them there. He had strawberry lemonade, and then I had a passion fruit tea that was good.
And then at night I tried another po' boy from another spot, and it was good as well. She just had a whole bunch of sides. Because we was getting up kind of late and going out. Because, I mean, it'd be open all night. So we wasn't really hungry. So we wasn't going to really do breakfast, lunch, and dinner. No. It was kind of like brunch and dinner.
Yeah, we ate
everywhere.
Breakfast late. Yeah.
Yeah, so we did that. And, I mean, okay, so to the part we want to get to where we did see the crack being used that we brought y'all in here with. So... the Uber, sometime in Uber, when you Uber into a certain street or something, try to find a landmark or a club or a bar or something when it's a certain street. You know, like, Times Square in New York is kind of Times Square. They know where you want to go, so that's like easy. In Atlanta, maybe you want to go like, hey, like, can you drop me off, like, you know, at the Underground or something.
But that's really not like a street. That's
like
a place.
But
we shouldn't have did that.
We got in the Uber. It sent us to Frenchman Street. It was nothing there. We was in like a parking lot.
It was an abandoned looking parking lot.
And the Uber driver was like, "Oh no, it's back here." So I had to pay extra to go to the real spot. So he dropped me off at a bar that's known in that area. So we went to Frenchman Street. It was cool, but like we wasn't really into it like that. So we went over to Bourbon Street. On our way, we seen somebody doing crack. On our way to Frenchman Street, we seen somebody get hit on their motorcycle. So it was kind of like trying to let us know, like, hey,
almost like we're gonna go home.
Maybe we should go home. So we thought about going home, but then Bourbon was like a 17-minute walk. I was like, let's try it. It's our last night here. We went over to Bourbon Street, and boy, oh boy. It's crazy. It's wild. Tell us some of the things that you seen when you was at Bourbon Street.
Like people flashing their titties, crackheads doing the splits,
Uh,
crackheads arguing,
Throwing
crackheads
stuff.
throwing. It was like the whole street was like
A party town.
yeah,
It
it was
was
just
wild and crazy.
partying.
It was
People drunk. People, having a good. Oh, people was dressed up.
it was Halloween time, so everybody was
Yeah.
dressed up, doing everything.
I mean, it was a good time. People watching.
Yeah, and then it was a strip club that looked like a fucking brothel.
Yeah, it was
and it's like girls like waving you in like a brothel.
That's wild.
Everybody was drunk as shit because we got there at like midnight. So it was like everybody was drunk, everybody was going crazy. Of course, it was like a million bridal shower things. And yeah, I thought the boobs part was only for Mardi Gras. But I guess like everybody's not gonna come for Mardi Gras, so beads and stuff is just part of Bourbon Street, I guess. So people just wild out.
I mean, it was
do
only
everything.
like 2 people that we saw do it.
Yeah,
but it was just
and
like,
nobody really cared about them boobs. It was like nah, and like
yeah, I thought it was a very good time.
It was
not for the boob, but for like
the experience,
just hanging out.
Yeah.
And then you know what? So Nashville was cool. Gave Nashville like they blocked the street off and like you just in the street, everybody partying, drinking. It's like hella bars like open and playing live music or have a DJ or whatever.
Right.
But I feel like Nashville was more of a country vibe.
And this was more of a melting pot for real.
Yeah.
Like it's hip hop. It's
But I mean, you saw
rock
like
and roll.
a lot of
They
black
even had
people.
Spanish music in some of them.
There was a
as
lot of
different-
Spanish people that lived in New Orleans, and I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
and I mean, it was wild. It was crazy, but it was a good time. Like,
Yeah.
and it was
felt like a
no-
safe time.
Yeah, and it was just people. It was drunk people, but it wasn't nothing.
But it also
like-
seemed like they let people get like fucked up. Like
Yeah, obviously drinking there morning, noon, or night. Like we
Yeah.
asked one lady what time do they close, and she
she said they don't.
whenever the bar owner feels like doing it. So even 5 a.m.
That's wild.
If you're an alcoholic, call somebody. But
that
yeah,
that's wild.
yeah, it just was.
Like I guess that's how those songs used to be. Like yeah, the clubs don't close till 6 a.m. Like who is out there?
I'm
like,
sure
older
those people there.
older cousins would say like, you know,
We used to leave at 1.
No, well, yeah, to go there.
Yeah.
yeah. So they like, oh, we just leave straight from the club and go to work.
Yeah,
I would never do nothing like that.
That's wild.
That seems like a fun. I mean, I don't like being sleepy and being at work, so I would never do that. But that is kind of wild.
Yeah, but I mean,
First of all, you still drunk, probably a little bit.
yeah,
But yeah, it was a good time.
overall, it was fun, and I mean, what I can say is like it just felt good to be around that culture and see it, and like the perseverance, man. We was 11 minutes. I checked this past morning from the Calio Projects where Master P and them is from. They said they knocked it down and rebuilt it, but like it's a lot of murals and stuff. It's a lot of culture, and I mean, like I said, like I really felt like. I mean, Atlanta's amazing because it's like you see black people doing well, and it's just kind of like, I guess it's normal, it's understood. But there, it just felt like black people treat you like royalty and good, and they like, hey, we need to really look out for each other. It almost felt like we just got our shit together as black people, like, so let's look out for each other. It felt like that, like we just got out of desegregation, like, hey, we still gotta look out for each other though. Like it felt
Like there was a lot of black owned shit. They probably take that really seriously.
and pretty much like
Probably only go to black owned places like back in the day where they like, yeah, our dentist is black, your doctor's black. They probably
pretty
really
much
do
we
that.
only ate at black owned places. I
That
think
was
the
all
whole
they
time.
Yeah, because the girl we
Yeah.
follow on
Tracy,
yeah,
shout out to Tracy on TikTok. Man.
that's where she was going.
Yeah,
but yeah, I
so-
think it's just a lot of black owned places,
Yeah, and
which is good. I think there's a lot here too, and we need
It
to.
is, but like I
more
said
so go
again,
there.
Atlanta is just so like it's like you become spoiled with it because it's so regular that it's not a surprise and stuff anymore. But I mean, I wanted to get on real quick. I'm thank my trooper, my queen, for coming on with me. But just wanted to really just keep this consistency going and really tell people to like really start doing what you want to do. It was $59, and with this flight, we got another flight on Southwest that one person flies free. So it's like a lot of things you can do it on a deal where you spend money on maybe sneakers or even like bills that you don't really need. You can find the money, pour it together, save it up over a couple months, whatever it is. But you need to travel, man. You only get this life that we know of, so you need to do it. You need to travel. New Orleans was amazing. Any last words on New Orleans?
No, I loved it.
New
I'm
Orleans.
gonna go back.
We definitely like the Essence Fest I seen while it was there, because the Black Pride is like amazing.
I think we gotta wait till we like 45.
Yeah, we're not there yet. We're not there yet, but
we'll be there in some years.
we'll be there
but
soon.
yeah.
But
or maybe it's not like it's like that. It's like
we
a
would
vibe,
look
like
a
if
little.
our moms were gone.
Yeah,
and
we
were
would
going
like
out
you're a
for
little
that.
young to be here, but I guess you could.
Yeah.
Oh, you 21. Okay, you could come in. You know, like it felt like that, but
I don't know. The music might be.
yeah, it
I
was.
don't know, but yeah.
It was amazing. I went speaking to existence that you go on a trip before the year ends or plan it right when the new year begins. I want you to do well. I want you to do good. Put some videos at the end of this for y'all. Peace and blessings. I love you, baby. And this is recorded.
Don't say you love me on camera.
Baby Airbnb. Cool. Cool. Mm-mm. Alright, being basic again. Nope, don't be ashamed now. At Cafe de Mons. Oh, a foodie! Jaden Smith water. And all it's baby. Here. This guy.
That barge up ahead has spun into our path.
I know you did. Go. Go.
Hard left. We avoided the barge, but now we might crash into the bank. Wrong rudder.
Look how we make them cut up.
Hard left.
Babe.
Hard,
Hey.
yeah.
We're gonna hit. Blow the danger signal.
Where's the danger
We're
signal?
gonna hit. All right. Time to make out. No.
Look at his face.
Why would you crash?
Did you see me? Is that it?
Yeah, you can do the Smoothie King one if you can see. That ain't really.
It's kind of small over
Yeah, just the Smoothie.
there. Is that it?
Trey, the future.